Many of our lives are riddled with chaos, and in 2023, I did my absolute best to be able to live a more simple lifestyle. So much so that I actually quit my corporate finance job, as I believed with the biggest of decisions would come the simplest of times. But it wasn't until I made the simple realization through these small everyday moments that life is actually very simple. We are the ones responsible for the chaos. It is okay to wander. Now, I received this from Jeff Bezos' morning routine, where it is far different than the total optimization that modern society has us chasing. When I quit my job, I thought I needed to optimize every aspect of my morning, believing I had to get out of bed at the exact time I opened my eyes, or else my medulla oblongata would not activate and my day would be ruined. Then drink 40 liters of water in one gulp, or else my kidneys would fail and my day would be ruined. To then run a 5-mile minute, or else my ancestors will know I can't run away from a predator and my basal ganglia will punish me. Then I heard this excellent episode with Jeff Bezos on the Lex Fridman podcast, where he describes how he putters throughout the morning. He gets out of bed, slowly moves around, gets on his phone, reads, drinks some coffee, exercises, and then he goes to work. And when I heard this, it gave me two realizations. One, in the difference in which we cherish infants and we degrade adults. When a little kid wakes up, you gather around them, you hold them, you say sweet things to them, slowly reintroducing them to life. Now imagine if we instead blared alarms in its face, made as much noise as possible, and yelled, "You have 3 minutes to change your diaper and get out the door." Now that would just be absolutely ridiculous, but we do that to ourselves. Now, the second realization allowed me to see that it's perfectly fine for me to get out of bed when I am rested. Go for a nice walk, stretch, drink a normal amount of water, take care of my plants, and then begin to work. And it just allows me to feel so much more present in my life. What I have found is that the optimization, the pursuit of success, is what distracts ourselves from the simplicity that is right in front of our faces. So find your version of puttering that allows you to be able to have small windows of time that you can fully be present in the moment. Pretend the power is out. Something that I just cannot get out of my head is how we spend around 28 hours a week watching TV. And don't get me wrong, I love watching some of my favorite TV shows, but sometimes it can just be a cheap distraction. Some of my absolute best memories has come from when the power went out and I had no other option but to be present. I remember being a little kid coloring in my Phantom Menace coloring book, building a sick fort in the box our new refrigerator came in, or building one of the most industrial snowmen ever to grace the 7 seas, to almost burning my wig off trying to put some nutrients in my girlfriend's belly. So we created this New Year's resolution where we're going to allow ourselves one day out of the week to pretend as if the power went out. And this doesn't mean that we're going to shut off all the power. This is about emphasizing no TV, no phone, no video games, no ability to distract ourselves with household chores. It's about focusing on being present in the moment, about reading together, drawing together, going for a walk together, simply just having in-depth conversations with one another. I think what many of us are finding is each day is just blending in with one another. All of a sudden, a week turns into a month turns into 6 months, and before we know it, we're going through the holidays once again. I think that if we give ourselves a moment to pause and to just kind of gather ourselves, see the world that we're in, see the simplicity around us, that it's just going to give us moments of appreciation for the simplest things in our lives. Color outside the lines. When a kid gives you a drawing, you cherish it. You see the beauty and the imperfections. You get a glimpse of just what they are feeling. And for the parents watching this video, I bet you even have some of your kids' artwork throughout the house. I will even go as far to make the assumption that you will probably keep it forever. But now let's flip the script. Why do you not have any of your artwork in your house? As adults, we ridicule every aspect of our lives for not being perfect. The only art that we do is we paint ourselves into these boxes of not being creative, not being enough, being too busy, wanting more, and then getting upset that we want more. The list goes on, but ultimately, we are finding ourselves discouraged with the end result without even giving it an opportunity to try. I just recently picked up a coloring book and some crayons for the first time in maybe 10 years of actually wanting to do it. And I used to love art, every single aspect of it. I would make pillows, create stories, draw pictures, make comics. But as I got older, I began to see the imperfections in what it was that I was creating, getting so frustrated that I ultimately took my anger out on the creativity aspect of my life, getting rid of it altogether. I now realize, after the immense amount of peace that I feel just doing a simple coloring book, is that ultimately I was just frustrated with my own securities. I was blaming the mirror for what it was showing me in the reflection. The ironic nature in all of this is that art has nothing to do with perfection. It all has to do with one's perception. The beautiful artwork from a little kid may be awesome to one of their loved ones, but it could just be trash to some stranger. A banana on a canvas can sell for over $100,000 to the right buyer and just be a total joke to everyone else. The perception in this very video is going to be different from every single one of you from the way that I perceive it. Does that mean it's a bad video? No. Does it mean it's a good video? No. It's just art. So I challenge you to get some crayons or some crayons, your journal, an old sewing machine, whatever your expression is, and just begin to create. As I believe creation is the key aid in the battle against your ego. Your ego will say how bad it is, how bad you are, that you aren't creative, and blah, blah, blah. When you let your inner child begin to shine with its perfect imperfections, your own false narratives and inner chaos will begin to dissipate, and you will see just truly how beautiful the world really is. Say what you want to say. Now, I've shared this on the channel before, but I truly believe it's one of the most valuable lessons that I have learned. And that is the difference between saying, yes, I can, and yes, I will. When we say yes, I can, we are telling the opposite party what it is that they want to hear. We are saying, yes, I am able to do so, but I don't necessarily want to do so. When we say, yes, I will, we are putting intention behind our words. We are being truthful with the opposite party, but most importantly, we are being honest within ourselves. When you continuously say, yes, I can, we begin to build resentment through the opposite party, society, world that we are a part of, as we don't feel like we can share our truth. When you compound this enough, you begin to have repressed anger. You begin to have frustration over even the smallest of moments. You begin to have so much chaos within yourself that naturally you see the world through the lenses of chaos. So it needs to be each and every one of our goals to be a little bit more truthful, to have more honesty behind our words. And this doesn't mean that you just begin to be a jerk and you just say whatever it is that you want. It's about standing with integrity. I have found that whenever I was in a conversation and I told my truth, even when the consequences could have been quite severe, whenever I left that situation and I was by myself, I found that I was at an immense amount of peace because I knew that I was in integrity with myself. I was true to myself. And what you will find is when you are at a state of peace, then comes moments of presence because you are present in the moment. That's how you find peace. And through being present, you find the simplicity. All of them are ultimately pretty much the same thing. But it comes from you being aligned with yourself, saying, yes, I will, or no, I do not want to do this. Just being more truthful in this situation. Nothing is still something. One of the things that I've struggled with the most in my life is the moments of doing nothing. I've always had very high expectations of myself. I've always put a lot of pressure in everything that I do. And so whenever I would have moments of doing nothing, I would all of a sudden just begin to just bully myself. I was like, you're lazy. You don't want this enough. The world's going to pass you by. All of these false narratives that I was just drowning myself in. So what that would do is it would make me always in pursuit of something. I could never be doing nothing. And as we've been talking about in this video, what that was doing is it was making me feel internally hectic. I felt like I was always on the run. And what that does is it makes our world feel hectic. It wasn't until I realized that doing nothing is something. If nothing was nothing, there would literally be nothing. Nothing would be happening. So nothing is something. I think a lot of us think of nothing as way past negative, that literally anything is better than nothing. So I need to fill up my calendar. I need to be doing something. I need to continuously be on pursuit. what I found is that when I began to experience nothing and utilize it as the immense tool it is, I began to recharge. I began to be able to take a step back from my life and see the chaos that I was putting myself in. I was able to fully process some of the possible realities of something that I had already been so set on. Allow this time to give you the opportunity to think, maybe I don't need to work a whole nother year just to get a 20K bonus when I want to quit right now. Or to give yourself the ability to think, you know what, maybe I should finish that book I've been writing, even though no one's gonna read it. Allow yourself to be able to just have the moment that you deserve, that you have earned, that you are worthy of, to just do nothing, to just relax. Allow yourself to have 2 weeks of it. It doesn't matter. We're putting all of these external pressures on ourselves. And I just found when I said nothing is something, it was like my ego just fluttered away. And I was able to be like, okay, well, I'm doing something. So I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for all of the love that you have given this community. I went ahead and included my email in the description below. I'm serious about this challenge. Please, no matter what kind of artistic expression you want to do, take a picture of it, no matter how it is that you feel, and I want you to email it to me. We're going to take a moment and we're each going to cherish the battle that you have won over your ego. Let's have a wonderful year. Thank you so much for your time that it took to watch this video. I hope that it provided some sort of value to you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.